Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Happy, and I'm happy to be here and happy that you're here with me. So, the Gemini full moon. Now, if you tuned in for the Sagittarius new moon, you'll know that I spoke about coming into greater understanding, gathering information, and hopefully becoming a little bit wiser. I hope that happened for you. And now we've gotten all this information, we have more understanding, clarity, and now with this full moon in Gemini opposite Sagittarius, we're on this air fire axis. So the way I liken this is to say that now we're going to be firing on all cylinders mentally. And we've got a lot of energy, and all that we've gleaned from the new moon in Sagittarius, now we're going to put into action. We want to get things done. We might have some fidgety energy, some jittery energy. We might have this impulse to have this chatter session of some heartfelt matters with someone. But whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of energy going on, and we might actually be distracted. We might be wondering, should I do this? Should I do that? That's what's in play. But there's another thing that's in play. Oh, and I might just say, if you do find yourself in a stream of heartfelt chatter, this is a perfect time for it, because Mercury is in Sagittarius right now, and I would say to use your emotional intelligence. Don't be stuck in your head, and to the very best of your abilities, be kind. Don't be blunt, because Sagittarius can be, make you a little bit blunt with Mercury in there. But anyway, moving along. So, of course, Sagittarius leads up to the party season of the year, and this is a perfect time to have a little party for some decompression time, because we have all been going through many things. It hasn't been necessarily easy changes in our lives. It has been intense in some cases. So we need to have a little fun, because there are big things coming ahead in 2020. There are lots of changes afoot. And I liken it to our chickens coming home to roost. We're going to have our just desserts, and we might like them, and we might not like them so much. And in saying this, I wouldn't be alarmed. I don't mean anything negative in that, because what's coming for us is actually to help us grow, to become a more authentic, realized version of ourselves. So this whole thing that I'm talking about in terms of 2020, I'll just touch on it right now, because all astrologers are talking about it, and we'll be continuing to talk about it, and I will be continuing to talk about it. And it's the big celestial play that's going on in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn rules the patriarchy, and right now, and for some time, this whole thing has been in play for a while. And let me just add, if you're not aware, that this is a rare event that's occurring. It happens very rarely, and when it does, it shifts the global social paradigm. Big things happen, and I don't need to tell you that we're living in epic days. We can all see that. We all have a front row center seat to the, shall we say, the global uprising. People are revolting. People are in dissent. People are whistling or blowing the whistle blowing. Because we're now calling out those aspects of the status quo that no longer serve any of us. We all see the masks falling away now of those entities, and not all, but those entities who have become corrupted. We could say that is some of the elites in the world. We could say it's the oligarchs, the leaders, the government, lawmakers. And again, I don't want to tar the whole panacea of the annals of power with this brush, but what needs to be corrected and restructured for everyone's gain is now in play. And, you know, as the macrocosm, shall I say, we are reflecting on our own individual lives, the macrocosm in the world at large. So as I said, the status quo is now going through what I would call, with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, through this controlled demolition. And it is for all of our betterment, and it is calling us all to transform as we move into this new age. And it is the age of Aquarius we're coming into, which is very humanitarian and altruistic. And I do diverge a little bit in getting into this, but I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. And I'll be talking about it more as we head into 2020, because it's the big show in town, shall we say, astrologically. But before I move on, I'm going to talk a little bit about what is occurring in Capricorn as it pertains to this full moon in Gemini. And the big news, well, let me start first of all with Venus. Lovely Venus, goddess of love and beauty and harmony and kindness and indulgence and sensuality, the lover of lovers. She's in Capricorn right now, which isn't the easiest place for her, and she's nestled between Saturn, which is very stern and restrictive, constrictive, duty bound, you know, standing there with the big stick and making sure you do your due diligence and just endure and suck it up, kind of a thing. And then you've got on the other side where Pluto, which is about power, and it's intense and it's obsessive and it's possessive and it wants to control. And so basically, and it's an uneasy place for her, and it's in the area of our successes, our standing in the world, the concrete manifestations, the things that we make for her, make and have earned for ourselves. Those things are being called into focus, shall we say, and there can be some challenges there, and it can relate to our money, and it can relate to our intimate relationships, our material security. It could also be impacting, because Venus is also at an awkward angle to this full moon. It could be impacting everything to do with perhaps business negotiation, contracts. It could be impacting our communications, be it verbal, email, written contracts, telephone conversations. So all of these areas of our life are, it could be in some way challenged. However, Venus does have a great ally in all of this at the moment. She's got Mars, and Mars is Venus's lover, and Mars is giving his power and his resources to help her through this. Mars is also right now trine Neptune, so basically Mars is really switched on intuitively, instinctively. And if you follow your instincts, your intuition, if you have any feelings, you've got any dreams that download information to you, pay very close attention, because they will help you sweeten the deal of whatever it is that's going to come up for you that might prove challenging. That's how Mars is going to help Venus. So the bigger news, from my point of view, is that, well, in regards to the whole big celestial play I was talking about, is that Jupiter is now in Capricorn and is at 2 degrees, and also Uranus is trine Jupiter. Now, Uranus is has lots of explosive dynamic energy and changes the game and can do suddenly. And so Uranus is partnering up with Jupiter as Jupiter starts his journey into Capricorn and acts as a catalyst for this whole transformative shift that I've been talking about. And the first part of his work, or the first place he's going to attend to, is in the area of our past and what we were really good at, because he is coming close and going to be coming closer to our South Node. And our South Node is all about what it becomes easy to us. As I said, what is very familiar, how we know what to do, things that we know how to do really well, the things that we get applauded for in some ways because we are very good at those things. They're our comfort zone. They're our go-to. They're our default. Now, that's all great, but when you want to evolve, it doesn't serve you, inevitably, because I liken it to asanas. Let's put it that way. So you've got your easy asanas. They're really good for making you feel good. You're good at them. You feel like you've really achieved in being able to do those asanas. And then you've got the other ones that you don't want to do because they're hard and you don't like them and you feel like you're never going to get there. Although there's never ever getting there anyway. We're constantly evolving. Point being, if we don't stop doing the easy stuff and attend to the other stuff, those hard asanas, then we never, ever stretch beyond that place that's safe and secure. We want to stretch into that place because that's the place that will give us the most reward once we, and we don't even have to get really great at it. Any strides in that is going to stretch us. So Jupiter is now calling us to become successful in new ways, to have new successes. And in order to do that, we have to let go what is easy, what was easy. I liken it to, you're on a cliff, and it's like, one way or another, you're going over the edge of that cliff. Now, you can jump or you can leap. And usually when you resist, it's a whole lot harder when you get pushed to do it. I would say, don't resist, don't jump, leap. Leap and know that you'll grow your wings on the way down. So I leave it there for now. And what I would say is, have some great fun leading up to this party season, during this party season, and get ready for some good work that's going to evolve you as we all together collectively, as the microcosm and the macrocosm, birth a new age for everything and everyone's betterment. It is epic days and it's exciting days. And I know that it can be alarming, but I would urge you to rejoice in the fact that, as I said one time, birthing isn't easy, but there's much to rejoice in it. And so I leave it there. And on a final note, I would say thank you so much for your comments and your sharing, your subscribing and your liking. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to hopefully, I am going to bring you the new moon, December 26th, as soon as I can. Because it's not just a new moon, it is a solar eclipse in Capricorn, and it is going to be setting the stage for 2020. Oh, and if you would like a little introduction reading, personal chart reading, I'm going to be doing those for a donation. And if you'd like to know more, please check below. And also I'm going to be adding a web blog that details the astrological aspects in more detail for these reports. And you can find that down there too. So enough for now, and thank you very much. Thank you.